Hi, I'm Davie Kelly. I'm here to tell you about Radio Magnetic's Summer Spotlight series, which will be running as a 3-month pilot on our Mixcloud Live channel. We're launching on the 24th of June, 8 PM. We'll be shining the spotlight on some of our favourite local selectors, first of whom is JB Moss. Thanks for getting involved. Jack, do you mind if I call you?
Yeah, perfect.
Do you want to just introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Jack, JB Moss. Thanks very much for having me along and letting me do the mix for you guys.
A pleasure. We'll just start from the beginning. So can you tell us how you got into music first of all, and then kind of...
Yeah. Well, a bit of a cliche story. Music, always in the household, mostly my mum's influence, quite big. So R&B head, lots of Stevie Wonder, Marvin Gaye.
Got you.
She loved her soul dance parties. She always says not so much the northern soul stuff, but more she liked Shadi and all that, so I always had all that growing up. And I think that's kind of continued through to what I listen to.
I can definitely hear it in the mixes that you do as a resident on Radio Vida, and I've had a sneak preview of the mix that you've done for us. I mean, those influences are very clear. It's quite a mature sound, actually, and unpretentious, I would say, but very much focused on the deep end of the dance floor.
Yeah, as I was growing up in the house, I was obviously listening to a lot of that, and then you started to do your own listening. I kind of went through what I think everyone goes through in their teenage years, listening to a lot of heavier stuff, heavier techno, and then my taste got a little bit deeper, and then they kind of fed their way back into those original influences.
Yeah. Cool. So what's first to get involved in DJing?
I think the first thing that I really focused on was production. I started messing around with Ableton when I was maybe 15 around, and really got into that. And then as I was making more of that stuff when I was like 17, 18, classic, got myself a lot of controller, hooked up to the laptop, and then started messing about with some of the stuff that I was making just at like daffy parties and just playing for pals, not more than 5 people at a time or anything like that.
Ask your man, entire kid.
Yeah. And then moved out of the house and saved up, got myself some decks, and couldn't afford too many expensive records at the time, so I just used to buy bundles of like 90s house and take 5 from the bundle and just practice mixing. None of the stuff that was mixing back then, I don't think I'd ever play.
Right.
Today, so quite different stuff.
That's quite common.
You've heard parts of the mix, and a lot of stuff I listen to these days are a bit more unquantized and loose, so I think if I did start trying to beat match with the last stuff, I might even know.
It's quite difficult.
Yeah.
So Jack, tell the Radio Magnetic listeners what we can expect to hear in the mix.
Well, the mix was a great opportunity. Obviously, I'm used to playing my shows on Radio Vida, but sometimes you're a bit limited with the sort of energy you can put out when you're playing the cafe and things like that. So it was a nice breather to just kind of play a lot more energetic stuff, some slightly clubbier stuff as well. And my main focus was just to try and let whoever's listening to it really get a good sense of what it is that I enjoy playing. So tried to go through, quite a few genres. There's a lot of deep kind of Detroit stuff in there, but I chucked in a wee Stevie on with it as well, keep it kind of liven things up in the middle, and I don't want it to be too, I think it's quite easy to get caught getting too deep and dark, which I absolutely ready to do, don't get me wrong, but a few happy numbers and some life in the mix as well.
I don't know if it was deliberate or not, but I got a feel of love through that mix. It was almost as if you were trying to spread the love and hitting the mark here.
Yeah, well,
you weren't there, I felt that.
No, I guess that's always the aim, was just to get my passion across. So I had a lot of fun making the mix, and I made sure to just keep it as live and kind of as raw as possible. Some of the mixes in there are definitely not perfect, but it's what I would say one of my favourite things is where even when I'm out listening to music and you hear the slight imperfections in the mix, and then it gets brought back in, and it sits pretty nice.
It's not something we hear a lot of these days, like, well, you know, a lot of DJs use digital music and CDJs and stuff, which are always on point. So never really chasing the mix as such. So I presume you were using vinyl?
Yeah. I think it's maybe like 80% reference, and then I have like a wee DVS setup, so you can just switch between that if I need to pay something like that. And we can't afford all the tracks in that mix, that's for sure. But the ones I could.
Is there anything that you're currently involved in that you think we should be aware of?
Yeah, well, me together with two friends, we've built a sound system. Nice. So we're kind of, it's still at the early stages, 2 stacks so far, and we've done three parties with it, and they've all been pretty successful so far. But yeah, we've got 2 ambitious bodies behind that one, trying to push it forward, and yeah, hopefully we'll go. Obviously, it's not a cheap thing to do, so no, we do need to take it in stages, and just we hope to just upgrade that, make it better, and make it bigger as well. Once
so when's the next outing for the sound system?
Yeah, well, the next outing will probably be at one of the new parties that we're doing. So we're starting a new one in Civic House downstairs, and that'll be on July 19th. Yeah, so that's we plan to have the sound system in there. We've also got like a custom dance floor that we went and got, so we'll be setting that up just to give us a bit more warmth in the room, because it's concrete floor we're dealing with. So
sorry, we'll need to stop when I come back to this custom dance floor. A custom dance floor? What's...
Yeah, well,
first of all, why? And secondly, why?
Well, we were looking at like potential venues for where would suit the party. We didn't really want to do a club space, we wanted to do a bit more of a dance rather than a club night.
Okay.
But
more social.
Yeah, exactly. Starting a wee bit earlier, and So what we decided to do is, because some of the boys are involved, they're also involved in the Korean party. We have quite a good relationship with people at the Civic House where those parties are, and they suggest that we take a look at the sort of one of their smaller rooms downstairs, which has turned out to be quite a nice fit for us, because we were looking for something that's a bit more compact. But the only downside with it was the concrete floor. So obviously we preferred to have a wooden floor, just sound-wise, where you actually get the issues with the concrete and things. And I think for the dancers as well, it's nicer, but where you can maybe dance for a bit longer.
Definitely. So you're obviously given a lot of thought to how the party sounds in terms of sonics, the listener experience.
It's a party we've been thinking about doing, and I guess the first draft was probably about a year ago now, so it's nice to finally get the idea, and it's coming together quite
nicely. Sounds like it, yeah. Right, brilliant. So, thanks very much. And tune in on the 24th of June at 8 PM on Mixclub Live.